Welcome back. Last time we talked about the process of getting new vendors into your company and how you want to think about that for the vendor lifecycle. And the flip side is also really important. When it comes time to renew these vendors, you need to understand if you want to renew them or not. And when you're doing that, you want to create a process and take into account things like, do we still need this particular vendor? Is it still addressing the business needs that led us to adopt this vendor? Make sure that we're doing a security and compliance review to see if anything has changed over the course of the year. We might want to review alternative vendors and negotiate as a best practice for procurement. And then use this information to help identify if you're going to renew that vendor or not. If you are, then you'll run them through your predefined processes to make sure if anything changed on the deeper approvals and rollout. And if not, then you'll want to think about terminating a vendor and having a defined process for that. And what we've seen in the wild from our customers is that very few people think about terminating vendors in very concrete ways. And as a result, you have all of these orphaned relationships with vendors where you might have sensitive company data in these different vendors. And you want to really get a hold of that, especially in an age of GDPR and other similar security and compliance and privacy regulations. So one is, make sure that that vendor has any GDPR or privacy regulations that want to make sure that you ask them to delete your data. Double check that you have no outstanding contractual obligations, that you've made sure that you've terminated that relationship. And then obviously update your system of record, knowing that this vendor is now terminated, whether that is now a vendor that you no longer want to kind of prohibit going forward, which some companies might want to have very specific rules for future vendors. But either way, and these processes will change by companies, but it's really important, similar to the adding vendors, that when you're renewing and terminating vendors, you have predefined processes, identify who is responsible for all of these processes, and then run them through these defined auditable processes so that you have the confidence that things were done correctly. Blissfully will help track, manage, trigger when these renewal workflows should happen based on the information in the system of record. And obviously, as all this data is updated, it continues to update this core database of your vendors in that system of record. So that's it for now.